freedom.
It is getting powered by World Sports Betting. It is goodtimes.co.za. Polokwane City nil. Kaizer Chiefs won DSTV Premiership. A goal by Upule Modi or Tso Vilakazi mentioned it yesterday. They are back in winning ways. Machaka says the vaccine is working. Ega Johnson and Johnson. So there you are. I did say you're supposed to beat Polokwane City. So whatever we saw today, it wasn't a remarkable or convincing performance, but they're supposed to beat Polokwane City. So those 3 points, they'll take it, put it in the bag. So what did you make of the game, sir?
Mr. Keo kunjani mfethu? Angibulise wena, ngibulise Junior, ngibulise Justice, ngibulise Machaka. Nginibulise nani emakhaya, cela support njalo iDiskiTV. Zobejo njalo ngijike futhi. Amakhosi for life. Yazi Mr. Keo ngishilo izolo ngathi mawudlala la ku DSTV. Uzodlala against Kaizer Chiefs. Kulesikhathi lesamanje, we must be scared. No, they are back in winning ways. They are back. It's good to see Moody scoring a goal. Yes, Mr. Keo, there are points where you'll question certain decisions with certain players and how and why do you put them. Because for me, you compromise the thinking behind the team itself, because you need midfielders that they would think. Not the one that was sebenza why most sebenza Mr. Keo ngihlala ngisho ngithi mina uzosebenza oluwin iball, and then what do you do with that ball? That's the problem eyenzakala lapha ku Kaizer Chiefs, and now they want to give that responsibility kunomfana lo uNgcobo lomncane. Yes, he's not young, but he's young to the others. Yes, but you look at this boy has been out for a while, angadlali, and then uyabuya, you give him that responsibility. Even before azoba aphuma, he was really carrying the team. So now when you give him that responsibility without a good support of good players, he will always gonna be exposed, that boy. But he came so he had to step up, Mr. K, because the Chiefs, they only had one shot at goal. He goal in the whole 90 minutes.
But they are back in winning ways.
No, what is the potence at 3 point? Mr. K,
so because this is the reason why Chiefs has been struggling in the last 8 years without winning a trophy, which has never happened in my lifetime or your lifetime, all of us. Chiefs is the greatest football club ever in South Africa since they were formed in 1970. They have the biggest fan base, most sponsors, whatever. In this dry period, sometimes they would win some games, sometimes they would lose some games. Sometimes they would win games, just like today, where they were poor.
Yes.
But because they have such a huge fan base, it feels like it's Christmas. Yeah, winning. And then sometimes they lose, even though they played well, but there's an overreaction. So there's an overreaction to their wins, there's an overreaction to their losses as well. And sometimes you have to find the balance. Straightforward question to you. So, Coach Cavin Johnson, we'll talk about Polokwane in a moment. Coach Cavin Johnson, I'm saying I got, and it shouldn't. I know that, and I my opinion about this is that Cavin Johnson is actually not the solution to Chiefs if they're not willing to change who signs the players, non-football people running the club, making sure that they're not promoting players that are not ready for a first team in terms of development, and closing that gap in terms of signing quality players versus the Sundowns and the Orlando Pirates. So that's my opinion on that. But let's look at it now. Limited to, he's an interim coach. We've seen the number of matches. It was a poor game against Swallows. Swallows were poor too. It was a poor game today against Polokwane City, but Polokwane City were poor too. Like, can you see where it's going? Do you think even when they're sitting down in that boardroom, they're gonna say, maybe let's continue with Kevin?
Mr. Keo, uyishaye straight yonke lento. Cavin okwamanje is okay as an interim until the team itself they sort out my problems. Then I can say can give Kevin Johnson a contract of being a head coach at Chiefs. But for now, all right, interim, because the house is not sorted. So while the house is not sorted, you're gonna lose good people. You're gonna lose. Kevin Johnson, he's a very good coach. experience of the game, come to development, going to senior teams. He's got a very good record. But now you only have a good record with a good administration. If your administration you are now a command, now you'll be exposed and we're gonna look at you as a failure. So good Chiefs, Mr. Nkeu, they've lost their identity, they've lost their philosophy, they've lost their way of playing, the way of doing things. You know, today when you look at Chiefs, I doubt who this team they're scared of Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're not.
Definitely not.
They're not. Because if you can look at how now Polokwane City they try to play against about now Chiefs shake amatolo, because you know Kaizer Chiefs, you know their philosophy, the type of players that the Chiefs used to sign. Mamela, you know when you go to that game you're like, yo matote, yo bandos of him baba. I'm telling you with the experience that when we face the Chiefs, we will ask ourselves, Tebafet, Shavula Yavuta Matota, Zonjan, in you used to count.
Yep.
Because of the administration at that time and the way it Chiefs they were doing things, the philosophy, they didn't mind to get our Serenzama from Google pushbacks. They didn't mind to do that. But yeah, here you come today. Anyone can go to Chiefs now. Chiefs. Because if when you say you wanna watch the Chiefs, man, who do you want to watch? So we used to go to more the Chiefs. Bobala njoba ngisho ngithi obuchabu abo Stanton Fredericks Thabo Moiki abo the late Thabang Lepisa abo Frank Makua abo the late Skarang Gomez. You can name them because you know good those were quality players that the Chiefs, they had a good eye of identifying those players and they put them in that team. So, but this time around, anyone can go to Chiefs now. Anyone can go and play.
I think just on that point, so the conversation now, Uhlangana said 2 wins, but look at the overall performance. Yeah. The conversation will be about the results. Go to high no. Libuyile Kosi, it's 6 points back to back, and Angashaya foot in Richards Bay because they are around the corner. Yeah. And Ukaita Notembo is playing anti-football. Like it's anti-football. When the anti-Christ, anti-football, anti-football. Like it's like you hate football the way that they are playing. Like everyone behind the ball. So in those run of matches, you're supposed to beat Swallows because I don't know what's happening with them. You're supposed to beat definitely Polokwane City, and you're supposed to beat Richards Bay. And I think maybe they have Skukune last game of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be the run of matches that will say, and Gaine Hype Kakule Chiefs is the biggest team in the country. That those run of the results, let's say it's 12 points out of 12. What will be the next conversation? Cavin must be the coach. But I got change it, and there's no transformation in the team.
That's the problem of us in South Africa, is that we don't look at the problem as such in the terms of the long term solving the problem. We're looking at now, can I jump now? Yes, I know jumping. I don't look at can I continue jumping now? They won't jump on a corner. We don't look at that, and that's the problem. That's why you see most of our teams has now a continuity in what we're doing, and that's why we always fail. Not that yes, Mr. Keu, I'm not bitter or whatever the case may be. Some teams they don't have quality players and whatever the case may be. But I'm saying if our teams, the administrators, they've got a continuity in the team, I doubt we'll be questioning our football. So the reason of us questioning our football it's so poor is because of it started from the administrators. It means the way they run football now, they're running it poor. So that's why we're gonna see our football be poor. So as a Chiefs, Chiefs is a big brand. That's why they had to attract all these big sponsors at Chiefs because of the way they were playing, the way the administrator teams running of the team, getting cool players. Even when they made those transfers, players are humble, but you could see the way the structure of how Chiefs is going. But now today, that's why I also want to go to Chiefs. People are starting to questioning a lot of things. Yeah. It's because of how the administrators are doing things.
Just one more so on Polokwane City. I said to Junior, I felt Uguti Polokwane will go home tonight thinking Uguti they should have got something from the game. There is a point where it's 1-0 and you able to tempo they are walking, and I'm like, where's your urgency as a Polokwane City? You're playing home, and Chiefs is there for the taking. It's not like Chiefs are difficult. They're not difficult to score against, but you're walking. What do you think it will be the takeaway from them? What would the coaches be saying to the players? Machita ni lahlile because the Chiefs be lahlile.
They'll be disappointed. Kakulu 40. You know when you've seen Uguti, you've created chances, and the keeper made the save. It should motivate you to say, no man, I think we can do better. Let's keep on going. But how they've played, including the boy who are police, for me was not in the game. He was, and I believe he was the player that's supposed to really, being up there and about guys, let's go, let's keep going, about push. But when you have a player like him also not in the game, who else is gonna lift up that team? I think they've got a good striker. Mfuno. Yeah, Mfuno. Yeah, I think he if he can continue work hard, I think we're gonna get something out of that boy. But other than that, Polokwane City, they should be really disappointed about themselves.
Right, there you go. Douglas Mapfumo is a Zimbabwean striker. I think he scored a brace in one game that I watched against Cape Town Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. That was one of the first few times that I've seen him. He's a decent striker, but they still need a couple of more players. There you go, the Kaizer Chiefs. Well done, 3 points. Move on to the next game. But I think there's a very interesting question to be asked about their coach, about that style of play. I do think that, for example, the idea of not having players, I do think that, for example, if you had a guy like Utentens, you would have already been seeing some direction in terms of his style of play. He would have, even with that material, even if he has to go and take out 19-year-olds from the development or whatever, you would have been starting to see some signs of. That's why you question even the surrounding of the team. Are there no players there that it's contractually obligated that they must play? Now, is under Zako's Bochiwa, coach. So, because we're gonna question you, okay, you've been there for 2 months or a month and a half. I got like we're going to 10 matches. I got this style of play. But of course, in the fullness of time, when the results are not going the way, the questions are going to start to come. But you're supposed to question, even in matches like these, that why are you not dominating Polokwane City? Well done to Pulemodi, decent goal that he scored. Well done to Kaizer Chiefs, 3 points in the bag. iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you very much for watching us.